Welcome to USHLI's National Conference. I can't tell you how proud it makes me to feel the powerful energy that all y'all, present and future leaders, bring to the conference year after year after year. We have an incredible lineup of speakers who will inspire and motivate you and instill in you the sense we need to have that we can change the world. This is all for you. You are our present and future leaders. You are USHLI. I am USHLI. Juntos somos USHLI. Adelante, sí se puede.
In the history of the Hispanic civil rights movement, many battles had to be fought and won in order to be where we are today. One such struggle took place in the 60s, where Latino high school students from various states walked out of school demanding the hiring of more Mexican-American teachers and counselors. Out of those protests, a young teacher named Juan Andrade was hired to teach civics to a class made up of primarily Mexican-American students, many of whom were children of migrant farm workers who spoke little English.
I originally set out to be a teacher because the people that had influenced me the most were teachers, and so I thought I would want to be one as well. And I got off to a good start the first day, but by the third day I found myself arrested for speaking Spanish in my own classroom, which I discovered was against the law in the state of Texas, and I felt that the law was wrong. I wasn't wrong, the law was wrong, that would prohibit anybody from speaking in their own language to empower its own people by educating our youth, our children. And but we needed some way to empower ourselves, to change laws, to challenge the status quo. And that's what gave birth to this idea of USHLI, to put in our own community, create an institution that would empower our own community and to build leaders for generations to come.
Wanting to do more, Juan writes a proposal to create an organization to empower Latinos. He seeks the help of three individuals, Hank Lacayo, Ray Gonzalez, and Willie Velasquez. Hank Lacayo was the political director of the United Auto Workers and social justice champion who strongly supported Cesar Chavez and the struggle of farm workers. He recalls meeting Juan Andrade for the first time.
Here he is, a Mexican-American, PhD, I got those credentials, wearing cowboy boots and a cowboy hat, and kind of a funny Texas accent. But what really got me more than was his candor. This guy was really talking from the heart.
Ray Gonzalez was a regional director for the National Council of La Raza, a young activist who had devoted his life to the empowerment of the Hispanic community.
When Juan walked in, he comes in and he bounced through the room and he says, "Hi, how y'all doing? My name's Juan Andrade." And I said, "Oh my goodness." I said, "So you're going to be joining me in Chicago?" And he goes, "Yes." And I said, "Well, what are you going to be working on?" And he told me the mission, and what came through was his passion and his commitment for our community, and that he was going to empower us and give us our voice. But the one thing that kept going over and over in my mind is, how is this guy with that southern drawl, how is he ever going to make it in Chicago?
Willie Velasquez, who died in 1988, was the founder of the Southwest Voter Registration Education Project and one of the most respected activists of his time. And he also agreed to be part of Juan's dream.
I remember our first conference many years ago, and where we thought that if we could bring 300 people together from coast to coast, from around the country, that it would be a huge success. And we were astounded when 674 showed up. And we were impressed with the reality of the situation. What really we were facing was the need to bring people together from around the country to empower ourselves, because there was a real hunger for empowerment, a real appetite for training, for leadership development. And that we knew that the conference from that first one that we had created something that would grow from year after year after year. And today, with over 200,000 have participated, we know that this is something that truly transformed the landscape across this country and our community.
Over the past 35 years, the USHLI National Conference has grown beyond expectations, attracting over 6,000 present and future leaders to its yearly conference. And in those 35 years, the USHLI has registered over 2.3 million new voters, awarded $1.3 million in scholarships and internships to Latino students, provided leadership development programs to 1.1 million present and future leaders, trained over 45,000 community leaders and organizers. Thousands more have participated in candidate training and campaign management schools and in training programs for grassroots and collegiate leadership development. Trained and engaged over 400 community leaders and public officials in the process of redistricting, resulting in new boundaries and districts at all levels of government. USHLI has published over 435 studies and reports on Latino demographics, more than any other organization in the nation, including the Almanac of Latino Politics. And this year, 150,000 students from 30 states are expected to participate in USHLI's Student Leadership Series. Over 635,000 students in middle schools and high schools have participated since 2011. Throughout its 35-year history, USHLI has impacted many lives. One such story is of Congressman Luis Gutierrez, who was driving a cab after losing his race for Chicago committeeman.
I lost that campaign in March of 1984. I went back to driving a cab. I want to thank Juan. Thank Juan for making that call. Thank Juan for reaching out to me and saying, "You ran a good campaign. I'd like to invite you to now become of a broader mission, getting people registered to vote, Luis. You changed my life. Thank you for mentoring me. Thank you for giving me that uplifting moment. And really, I don't miss driving the cab, Juan. Thanks a lot."
There are tens of thousands of USHLI success stories of students and young leaders who, by attending the conference, had their lives changed forever.
I first became acquainted with USHLI and Juan Andrade when I was 11 years old at a community event in Joliet, Illinois. I was amazed by his message of giving back, empowering. Fast forward, received the internship, received the scholarship, attended every single conference since 7th, 8th grade, and became amazed by the amount of work that Juan was doing throughout the country.
Juan, thank you so much for everything that you've done for me personally and for so many other students. It's been your modeling of servant leadership that has helped us become who we are. There's so many skills that we've gained through this conference and all of the programs that you put together. For me, I will always remember my freshman year in high school, I wanted to attend a program, and you paid for my full tuition to be able to participate. And just thank you for that and for so many other things that you've done. We're all here and have advanced, and we are where we are in our careers and our success, in big part because of everything you've done for us. So thank you so much.
So I first got involved with the U.S. Hispanic Leadership Institute back when I was 13 or 14. I had a family member who was a veteran of World War II who made sure that I attended the U.S. Hispanic Leadership Conference as a young man. And seeing thousands of other Latino leaders really inspired me to do the work that I've done in my community over the last 20 years. Whether it be lead a nonprofit, whether it be running for public office, the U.S. Hispanic Leadership Institute has really made me the leader that I am today.
I would like to thank you for so many things, for having a vision for this organization for our greater community, to have a place where young people can come and learn and believe in themselves and that they can be leaders for the future of the Latino community. I remember fondly looking out into the crowd and seeing those thousands of high school students and thinking, wow, I did this. You've built so many leaders throughout the 35 years, and I'm just overwhelmed that I am one of those leaders and that I could say I worked with Dr. Juan Andrade.
Dr. Juan Andrade is the fourth of only 5 Latinos in history to be decorated by both a President of the United States for the performance of exemplary deeds of service for the nation and by the government of Mexico for serving the Mexican and Mexican-American communities living in the United States. With 5 earned degrees, he is the most educated leader of a major organization in the nation. He has been recognized 4 times as one of the 100 most influential Hispanics in America by Hispanic Business Magazine. He has received the Medallion for Leadership from the Hispanic Heritage Foundation, which is regarded as the highest award presented to Hispanics by Hispanics. Juan was awarded the Medallion for Excellence by the Congressional Hispanic Caucus Institute. He was awarded the Eagle Award from the Latino Leaders Network, and he was honored by Univision in its series Un Orgullo Hispano. USHLI has been honored by the National Immigration Forum for its work in registering newly naturalized citizens to vote and was named National Organization of the Year in 2014 by Univision.
It's almost impossible to imagine or believe that that much can happen on one person's watch. And yet, Juan Andrade has been the person who proves what one human being can do in a dedicated career. I, along with hundreds of thousands of people, appreciate what you have done. We know the sacrifices you have made, we know the personal toll it has taken, and we appreciate deeply the commitment that you've made over all of these years. Brother, there are few people in the country that I admire more or respect more than you. Juan Andrade, one of our very best. Best in the Latino community and one of the best Americans I know.
Juan, I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you for all you've done on behalf of our community. I'd like to also thank your wife and children for the sacrifices they've made and for sharing you with all of us. And on a personal note, Juan, I just would like to thank you for taking me along on this wonderful journey of USHLI and all the great things that you've done. All the best, my friend.
Man, I'm very proud to say that of all the things I've done in my lifetime, that was one that stands out. Numero uno. God bless Juan Andrade, and God bless the United States Hispanic Leadership Institute. Long live it. Long live it.
There were people like Hank Lacayo and Willie Velasquez and Ray Gonzalez and myself who were the sole believers at the time. But then the circle grew, and it grew wider and brought in people like Dr. Antonia Novello, Dr. Antonia Pantoja, Rita DeMartino, Maria Portalatin, Dolores Huerta, who all as our sisters came together and joined together in building USHLI. And others that came forward as well, like Jack Otero, Nelson Diaz, Damaso Seda. You know, people that many young people today may not ever have heard of, let alone met. But we built USHLI on the shoulders of these giants. There will always be a USHLI as long as there are people who have been reached, who have been touched, and who have been empowered by USHLI. We can all come together in a cross-generational manner to say, I am USHLI. Yo soy USHLI. Together we can all say, I am USHLI.
On behalf of the Board of Directors and the staff of the United States Leadership Institute and the 35th Annual United States Hispanic Leadership Conference, we salute you, our future and present leaders, for making the USHLI what it is today.